up, I was always a small kid. Football was never, an option for me because I would just get pummeled or thrown around. But wrestling, there's weight classes. So you could wrestle someone that's exactly your same size. So it really comes down to skill and kind of want and drive and desire. Wrestling's always been a part of the family kind of tradition. My father was a Division I wrestler, All-American for U.S. Naval Academy. I had an older brother that wrestled growing up, so anytime he would go to practice, I would always go to practice with him. So it's just kind of one of those family things that you have to wrestle or find a new family to live with. Shake hands! I coach at Mount St. Joe High School. Currently, we're the #1 ranked team in the state of Maryland.
I've known the Hicks family for over 20 years. I first met them when they were wrestling for the Navy juniors. When Matt Hicks walks into the room, he brings a great degree of excitement and enthusiasm. He's a tremendous assistant coach, so you never know what the future holds in store for him.
But then I kind of lost that focus a little bit. You're basically almost a professional athlete where that's kind of your job in school is just to keep your grades up and be able to compete at a high level. So once you finish that, it kind of comes into a lull where there's not much for you. Crazy 80, it's just an environment where high-level competitors can thrive very early on. I actually found out there's a bunch of other Division I wrestlers that are training here, a bunch of professional MMA fighters, world-class Jiu-Jitsu competitors, world champs in Jiu-Jitsu. I was very reluctant to kind of hop into Jiu-Jitsu. I thought it was, maybe not as tough as wrestling or not as gritty as them. I don't know if I had like a higher standard as far as like grappling goes. But it became a great outsourced outreach for me to get me back on the mats, and I found out it was just as competitive as wrestling. The guys are just as physical, just as mentally tough. The technique's there too. They gave me the opportunity to become a student again. Once kind of the MMA guys and the striking guys kind of heard my background and they heard that I was dabbling the idea of maybe doing some MMA, they pulled me into the striking program.
He took his first kickboxing class with me maybe a little over a year and a half ago, and in that time has developed a lot of skills, came up from a strong wrestling background, so all he really knows is hard work. Yes sir, do the extra reps, which is kind of a coach's dream.
As my coaches worked on me a little bit more and more, developed a little bit more striking, ended up in my first year of MMA competitions at amateur level, going 7-0 in just over a year. So very successful, ended up winning 3 different titles, and so now we're making the transition into professional. So now that I got back to competing, I got back to training every single day, most of the time twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day. I got that dedication back, I got that drive back, I got that hard work, kind of that grittiness back, and that's pushed into my personal life, into my work life. I'm kind of at a point where I think the sky's the limit right now. I have a lot of unfinished goals from wrestling that I want to be able to achieve. Being a 8-year-old boy, 9-year-old boy in the sport of wrestling, I always wanted to be an Olympic and world champ, but I think I can achieve those goals in MMA.